Hello friends, in this video I will show you how to install WhatsApp MCP on Windows. MCP is a Model Context Protocol. Think it similar to a USB-C port for AI applications. Just as a USB-C port provides a standardized way to connect devices to various accessories, in a similar manner, MCP provides a standardized protocol for applications to provide context to the LLM. Generally, setting up and debugging MCP for Windows is difficult since there are less number of good documentation out there. So I hope this video will help you set up this powerful tool on your own machine. And if you're not able to, you can always reach out to me. So before diving into the MCP installation process, let's have a high-level understanding of the MCP architecture. Generally, there are three major components. There is the MCP host and MCP client, the MCP server, and a local or remote data source which can be called using an API. The MCP host is a program tool like a Claude Desktop or any other IDE which allows users to interact in natural language. The MCP client then maintains a one-to-one connection with the MCP server. The MCP server is what talks with the application in its language. This could be a database query or an API call. Let's get back to the installation process. As I have listed it over here, we require the following 5 steps before we can take advantage of the WhatsApp MCP on your local machine. Let's start with installing MSYS tool. These are a collection of tools and libraries which provide you with an easy-to-use environment for building, installing, and running native Windows software. You can download the installer, and since I've already downloaded it to my local environment, I will simply double-click it to start the installation process. Now MSYS is ready for you and a terminal is launched. Here you can install a few libraries which are required for compiling the project. Run the following command. You can check whether compilers and debuggers are installed by checking their version number. These are very powerful tools and understanding their utility is way beyond the scope of this video. So I will just skip it. But maybe I will bring it up in some other video in the future. You can also test it by opening a new command prompt and checking the version number of the GCC compiler. Next, I install Go for Windows. This is because for the WhatsApp bridge, we are using WhatsMeo library to communicate and talk with the messaging app. And this library is written in Go. You can now load the Go website or go to the Go website and download a binary which is suitable for your system. In our case, it is the Go 1.24.2 Windows AMD 64 MSI. Once I download it, I simply double-click and install the system. The installation gets over very quickly, and then you can open a command prompt to check the version number. This is to just confirm that the installation has gone as planned. After the Go installation, we need to install UV, which is an extremely fast Python package manager written in Rust. For installing UV, I need to open a Windows PowerShell and then execute a policy which allows me to run the installation script from the internet. You should be very careful here by running this command and use it only if you trust the owners of the script. Otherwise, it's very easy for bad actors to take control of your machine. I will also copy the location of the installation since it's required while configuring the MCP. Next, I need to install Claude Desktop and then git clone the WhatsApp MCP repo. One important step which I forgot to mention was that you need to set the path variables in system properties. This will be for the MSYS and the Go binaries. Installing Claude Desktop is simply going to the Anthropic website and downloading the executable file. Now you need to git clone Luke's WhatsApp MCP repository. Once cloned, the repo will have two folders. One is for the WhatsApp bridge and other is the MCP server or host. From the command line, you need to go to the WhatsApp bridge folder and run the main.go file. For Windows, it is important that you enable CGO in the environment because it's required to read the WhatsApp database. Once the bridge starts, it will prompt you to scan the QR code from WhatsApp. What this does is that it connects your messenger to the bridge and lets it read all your messages as well as contacts. I will now go to my settings on the app and scan this code and press the button for linking the bridge. After a few trial and errors, I can see that the WhatsApp bridge is now connected. The bridge now starts syncing the Messenger database locally to your desktop. This takes around 20 to 30 minutes, depending on the number of messages and contacts stored on your WhatsApp. As I discussed at the start, the Claude Desktop acts like a user interface for tweaking queries and then using the LLM's power to send commands to the WhatsApp server. The bridge acts as an interface between the MCP server and the Messenger app and its SQLite database. So there is a small change in the configuration file for the Claude Desktop. This file this is uploaded on my repo, which is a fork of Luke Harris WhatsApp MCP. Once the MCP server is correctly configured, you will see this hammer icon. On clicking, it will show you all the commands that are at your disposal. You are now free to let your imagination run wild. For example, I can use it to automatically respond to messages or initiate an API call to a third-party application. I can also open an issue or a PR. To demonstrate its context awareness, I asked it to identify the topics on which I interact a lot on WhatsApp. I also asked it to provide a metrics for quantifying my interest. There is a small limitation over here since it only takes the last 50 message. This of course can be changed from the backend, but it still does a good job of identifying my interest. As you can see that it identified startups, finance, technology, and healthcare as the topics where I interact most. This was done by counting the number of groups that I am part of. But being part of some group doesn't help. It's those groups where I interact most. This was my follow-up question, and it went right into it and identified finance, startups, sports as the places where I talk a lot. And most interestingly, it also found out that I was making plans for vacations. It also identified a lot of tax-related conversation. That's not bad. So, what do you think about MCP's capabilities? What do you think you can use it for? Do let me know in the comments.